Andy Beattie, how are you? Mackie.
Yep.
How are you?
Fine, Simon.
Good game today.
Yes, enjoyed it. Even
Was that your first game back?
No, on Friday.
Right.
Played on Friday, and it wasn't too bad.
Because you've been out for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, a good
What have
few
you done?
weeks. Sciatica,
Right.
but I was told exercise helps.
Okay.
So that's why I came back, and the last week and this week, big difference.
Is that the only exercise you do is out there?
Yeah.
That's it?
Well, go walking. Usually,
Right.
I like the weekends, go for a walk if the weather's good.
Because you're the goalie.
Yeah.
But the number one, obviously. And I'm just thinking that when you're in goals, especially when I'm in defence, and you don't get much to do, you know. Pretty idle with guys like me to protect you in there. So there's not much exercise. Other than picking the ball out the net, of course.
Well, actually, this walking in between the goalposts is
Yeah,
good exercise.
that's enough,
for me.
really.
That's enough. And stretching.
Aye, that's enough. And then all the biscuits and coffee when you come back
Well, that was well worth it.
afterwards.
Aye.
Where are you from, Andy, originally?
From Glasgow.
Right,
Yeah.
whereabouts?
Born in Govan.
Right,
Yeah. And then we moved to Govan Hill.
okay.
And then moved over to Craigbank, over
Uh-huh.
to the Hurlet.
Yep,
And then when we were 17, we moved to Mount Florida.
okay. So always south side of Glasgow?
Always south side. And then I get
What was
married.
all the movement for? Was there warrants out for your
Eh.
parents or something?
Must have been. No, I think, well, nobody bought houses in these days. We're all
That's
rented.
true, that's true.
And then when I was 17, somebody told my mother, look, you need to buy a house because people were starting to buy houses and they got her.
When are we talking then? What age are you, Andy?
I was 17, I'm 74. I
Wow,
was 17 at the time, which was about 61, 62.
57 years ago. Aye, we'll let somebody else do all the calculations. We're talking the 60s.
Yeah.
Yes, early 60s.
Yeah, early 60s.
Because I remember my parents bought the first house. I would be about 16, so that'd be 75. And it was a big deal.
Yeah.
This was a house in Hindland in the west end of Glasgow.
Uh-huh.
And because my stepfather worked for a paper mill, he got the house. I don't know what percentage of the cost, but a fraction of the cost.
Yeah,
But it was still £2,500,
that was a lot.
and it was a mortgage.
Yeah.
So I remember for weeks being told, "That's it. We don't eat anymore. We don't go out anymore. You're going to get big belts that you have to tie to take," because it was a big deal.
It was.
Having debt was a big deal
Yeah.
for my parents.
Yeah.
Having own anybody any kind of money was a kind of disgraceful thing.
Yeah.
And that house sold. My sister sold it maybe 10 years ago now for over 200,000.
Wee bit of a profit.
Not bad, not bad. But obviously my parents never realised that.
No.
But it was a big deal to get
Yeah,
the
it
property
was.
market.
Yeah, hers was 1,000. My mother went for, and you say it was £8 a week, I think it was.
The
Sorry,
mortgage.
£8 a month
A
was,
month.
was the mortgage
Wow.
for that at the time. Because she panicked. Can we go to pay this?
Yes, yeah, because debt was a big deal.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of, who
Nothing-
cares?
no,
Different world altogether.
Yeah.
So did you play football as a youngster?
Just with my friends, the usual jackets down
Yeah.
for goalposts. I was never.
Were you a goalie then?
No,
No.
I didn't. I never ever played in
Was
goals.
it your jacket they used?
That's probably how I got a game.
Because that's how I got a game, was my jacket and my ball.
Well, for lucky if you had one ball in the whole street,
Right.
and if he went home for his tea, I was out. Game stopped.
So at 74 years of age, Andy,
Yeah.
when did you start? What age were you when you started playing walking football?
It was about 6 years ago. Must have been 68.
Okay.
I saw a bit on the television. I said I fancy that, and I couldn't find. I went on the internet trying to find out where I was. Couldn't find anything. And then I saw Motherwell were doing it, so
Right.
I travelled out to Motherwell with my friend, and there was only 4 of us. For about a month, was their coach, and I just never moved. And
Right.
so after 4 weeks, he said, "Look, it's not worth it because there's only 4 of you." And then I heard St Mirren were doing
Right.
it. I says, "Right." So I went down there, and it was quite good to start with.
Uh-huh.
But I was never walking football. It was always running. And then they started bringing their sons who were in their 20s,
Okay.
and I says,
So it's
"No."
getting worse and worse.
And there were hard tackles going in. I
Right.
says, no. But then I said, well, I was desperate. I says, no, I need to play walking football. People my own age. Then I looked up the internet and I saw Glasgow Live, Bella Houston, ideal. So I said, I'll come along and watch the first game. You were sitting there, I remember, it was 2.5 years ago.
I was sitting there.
Yeah, you were sitting on the bench, getting everybody organised.
I don't sit.
Uh,
My boss could watch this.
no, you were sitting
I'm
there.
running about, coaching and...
Basically before the game started, you were sitting there.
Good idea,
You were getting all the strips out. You were asking me about
Okay, I was sitting boiler. I was sitting boiler.
And I said, this'll do me, because you did 2 games, and they were playing walking football, you were playing to the rules, and it was friendly.
We were playing to the rules.
You were playing to the rules, so I said,
I don't remember that episode, but there you go.
Oh, aye, because I tried to...
The thing is, in the gym, it is much easier to keep things contained,
yeah,
I think.
It is.
Yeah, we're going back there next week, of course, this
yeah.
week, yeah. So you came along then?
Yeah.
And started playing in goals right away?
I did, yeah. Because I said, well, I'm rotten outside, but I'm not as bad outside in goals.
Right.
And the smaller goals, and if they hit me, I look like a save.
Aye.
And I've always felt...
Jim the goalie's living on that.
He did, and he was brilliant again today. Some of the saves he
The
made.
ball hit him a lot.
Yeah. And I've always felt that a good save is as well as good as a goal for your forward line. So even if you stop a goal, that should as well scoring a goal at the other end. So I was quite happy with that.
Okay. Something I meant to speak to you about privately, but I'll ask you now. Jim the goalie's offered me, he said he'll take a £5 per goal to let one in for me, to let me score. Can you beat that?
No. There's no way I'll let anyone score a goal.
I thought you'd say that.
And if they beat me, it's because they beat me. Even if it's the girls or some of the boys who aren't physically fit and nobody tackles them, I won't say their name, just to let them shoot, I'll still try and stop it. So if they score, they've done it on merit.
That's a good philosophy to have. I used to have that with my kids. I used to say, I'll never let you win.
Yeah.
So when you do beat me, you know you did it fair and square. And the time my son beat me at pool when he was about 16 or 17, you'd think he'd won the World Cup. You know?
You never played him again?
No, never. Hate him.
I was the same with my son at tennis. The first time he beat me, that was the last time he played me.
That's it. End of story.
He's done it.
So, where do you live now, Andy?
In Paisley. I married a Paisley girl.
Right.
So I moved to Paisley to keep her happy.
That's nice. Paisley girls are great. Aren't they? Aren't they?
Oh, well, this one is. Oh, the one I've got.
Yeah.
Yes, dear. You are lovely. In case she sees this.
Just in case.
Actually,
what did you do for a living? I take it you're retired now,
electrician.
Electrician?
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
All over.
Right.
In Glasgow.
Where did you serve your time?
With Kirkpatrick's in Paisley.
Okay.
I was here nearly 28 years, and then I got made redundant.
Right.
And then
what kind of firm was Kirkpatrick's?
Electrical.
Right.
Did everything.
Contracting.
Contracting, schools, houses, and then I got made redundant, and I went by myself, working for different companies, and that was great.
Right, freelancing.
Went to your shipyards where you were work.
Yeah.
Was here a year and a half with them.
Which shipyard were you in?
John Brown's.
Oh, right.
John Brown's.
My stepfather worked as an engineer in John Brown's. I was in Yarrows.
Yarrows.
And I did a couple of years of my apprenticeship, and that was it. And I've never fitted a plug since. I've never done anything since.
Well, that's it. Since I had down tools, I said I'm not going up any lofts. I'm not going under any floors.
Yeah.
I'll do small jobs for people. And for some reason, I feel sorry for widows or old ladies that lost their husband.
Yeah.
If they, I said, give us a phone, and I'll come. My neighbours, even my neighbours' pals, I'll come and do it because I don't want to get ripped off by somebody. So, and it's just wee jobs.
But there's a trap there. You know, Davy Kinnaird that plays with us. It's got the house up in Stornoway. Davy's an electrician as well, and his son asked him to put some new sockets in his new house that he's just bought. When did you last see Davy?
I don't know, it's a fairly long now since you come back with.
You know why? Because he's still in that house. He's doing new spotlights, new ceilings. He's now got him waiting in for the other tradesmen to come as well. And the only time he's came along was to bring some stuff along for the charity that we did. And he had his dungarees on.
No big jobs.
No.
Just small jobs.
Aye, that's the trap, isn't it? Especially for your wains, that's what happens. So, watching football, who's your team, Andy?
Well, it is Celtic.
Right, good. It's time we got one of them in here.
Yeah, I admit
so we can slag them.
Yeah. Which you're quite welcome to.
How did you get involved with this? Did you go as a boy?
I very rarely went because my father, they were Thorlanix fans, his family, all my friends were Rangers fans.
Yep.
I just think I must have been twisted.
Yeah.
I just want to be different for them, from them, and I started supporting Celtic, and it would be around about 50.
That must be how they get all the fans then, just all the twisted guys.
It must be. It was around about 57, 58, but I never actually went to a game until I was about 11, 12, which was around about 60. I went to a couple of cup finals, and I thought it was a jinx, because we got beat by Dunfermline, drew with them on the Saturday, got beaten the replay on the Wednesday, played Rangers, drew with them on the Saturday, got beat with them on the Wednesday. I said, I'm never going to. God must be a Rangers fan, because I'm never going to see Celtic win anything. And it wasn't until I was 18
Right.
that I actually saw them win a cup, which was beating the Fairland in 1965. I went, oh, thank you, at least I can hold my head up high. I'm not
You
going
know
to
the
slag.
jinx anymore. Yeah.
No, the jinx. Because you're going into school on a Monday morning, and you know what you're going to get. Or the Rangers fan having a dig at you, and you just had to take it.
And what do you think of the new Celtic, the Australian manager and all that? What do you think the future holds?
Going quite well, still not. I'm maybe spoiled now.
Aye.
Celtic and Rangers fans are spoiled. You've got to win. That's how. I don't mind us getting. I like us winning cups. I don't mind us getting beat in a cup final by the most provincial team, because these players will maybe never play in a cup final again.
Yeah.
Some of their fans have never seen them win a cup. It could be another 10 years before they do it.
Yeah.
So I don't grudge them with winning fairly. Inverness, Thistle, Motherwell. I don't remember Motherwell win a cup for a while. Oh, they did.
Aye, they did. Aye.
Dundee United
The
game.
90s, yeah.
Great
What a game that was.
Yeah. So that's their history. It's going to be their history for a while.
Yeah.
Whereas Celtic and Rangers fans, if we don't win it, next year we'll have another go again.
That's right.
So,
And because it's interesting you talking about the history of the football, because just now there's a session on next door that you've been part of since we started it a month ago. Is the Sporting Memories Scotland with Jim Purvis. Do you think that fits in nicely with the walking football?
yeah, because you see, you can see the difference in people. I've say 2.5 years. I've seen them coming in like James. If I don't mind mentioning his name, he came, as you say, with an inhaler.
Mm-hmm.
He sort of wandered about a wee bit first. And this bloke, they're totally different now, physically and mentally.
I've got to stop him running now.
Yeah, he moves, and mentally talking away. And we've got other players that come along, the ladies as well, Michelle and Claire.
Yes.
You can see the difference it makes to them mentally as well, and physically, because they're moving about. We see like Michelle scoring a goal. You can see how happy it makes her.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she just made her day.
Yeah.
And it's only a game of football.
I can't wait to try that.
What, scoring a goal?
Scoring a goal.
Oh,
That's why I was offering you money to let him.
Oh, she's scored by me a few times.
So I can't remember.
No, and I see the difference that they're making. And the other James, who uses a stick to walk,
Yes.
but he still comes along and puts the stick down, and he plays, and he can score a few goals. You can see how happy mentally that is making him as well, and physically the moving.
That's as rewarding for him as it is for a Scotland player scoring. It's everything. It's everything. And it doesn't matter that maybe one of us has stood back to let him have the shot or whatever. And it's interesting you say that, because I think it's important that we keep walking football for everyone.
Yeah.
You know that there's a festival in December for the low intensity, we call it. And that's what we're really trying to showcase, is that it's not about the competitive side. We've just had Big John in here a while ago, and he's talking about the over 50s and the competitive, and he loves that.
Yeah.
And that's the top end of walking football. But the other end of it is the low intensity, and that's more important to me, that people who wouldn't normally get a game are getting a game. Yeah. And they're getting to enjoy the social side of it afterwards as well.
They can win in a talk. As you say, there's Alec, who was only talking to the supermarket workers when you go to the shops.
Yeah.
Coming along and talks away there.
Yeah.
Tells you about his life. So it's really good that way.
We forget about that aspect of it, that everybody's bringing their own baggage here, and it gives them a wee opportunity to maybe share that and offload that. So what do you think moving forward with walking football? And I must thank you, Andy, because unsung hero, you help me all the time with the cones and the bibs.
I think everyone does. Well, what I'm amazed that I don't believe there's only one of you. I believe you're cloned.
Right.
There's no way you can go to all these places, go to all these meetings you have, do all the pitches. I don't know how you do it.
Well, the truth is that there is a twin going about.
Got to be.
And see that other guy, he's a rascal, honest to God. See the stuff he's done in the past, it gets me into trouble, up that dancing and all the rest of it.
So it's no you.
No. He was a policeman, the other one, he's a badging. He was a badging.
But everyone helps. They all do it. They pick up all the cones after it, set them up, pick the strips.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them do help.
And even the warm-up and stuff, people just do that now, because sometimes it's quite a lot to organise.
It's a lot to organise. Especially if they all come in at different times. Jimmy Russell.
He's always last minute,
for
isn't he?
goodness sake, today was terrible.
Last stretch. So, it's been really good having you in, Andy, and hopefully you'll continue to help me.
Yep, I hope so.
With the setup and all the rest of it, and I'd love to wish your team good luck for the rest of the season.
Obviously you can.
But I'm not going to.
Right, thanks for that, Simon. Enjoy
Thanks,
this.
Andy. Cheers.
Right.